appearance.
That's a lie. All right, my dangerous question. Donald Trump is implying that the election is rigged.
Yeah.
I think many Americans have a feeling, with some justification, that the system is entrenched, certainly, towards certain interests.
Right.
Certainly the Democrats have in the past expressed concern about this. Hillary's own team, we know from WikiLeaks, were worried about voter fraud on Obama's behalf.
Yeah.
Austria has widespread voter fraud. There's no reason to suppose America is immune from it. Is there anything that you can do to fight it? Do you have a view on it? I speak to very intelligent people who say, well, of course it is, and come up with some very reasonable sounding responses to this. Do you have a view on this? Because it seems like most of Trump's base are kind of on board with this, I think, because they have a sort of instinctive feeling that which part of what fuels him in the first place, that the system is gerrymandered toward establishment interests, and of course Hillary Clinton will be the beneficiary of all of that. Bernie, suffered as a result of that, and many of his voters were irritated by the end of it. To the extent that you can tell us, do you think that that's the case? Do you think the election is? Do you think that there's a sort of secret inbuilt advantage that people don't know about? Do you think there is outright stuff? Look, this is a campaign, let's remember, that we now know from the James O'Keefe videos, at least they seem to show it, is sending people down to start physical altercations at Trump rallies. These videos purport to show, widespread voter fraud, terrorism, if you want to put a big word on what they were doing in Chicago. Is it reasonable that this will be going on too?
Okay, well, so in a nutshell, there's without a doubt the system is rigged and the election is rigged. I say that definitively. The question is, what is the definition of rigged? Is there enough of Democrats stealing votes? And I think that's what the media is trying to make it sound like what Trump is saying. But Trump always, when he says the word rigged, he always follows it up with conversation about the media. And that is where Breitbart comes in and where MILO comes in. And absolutely, we believe that when you look at it and you're seeing 30-to-1 coverage of, okay, in the same week, WikiLeaks comes out, says that Hillary Clinton told a Brazilian bank that her dream is open borders. That means no America, folks. By the way, if there were no borders, there's no country. Do people agree with that? Then it's just a blob of land somewhere between Mexico and Canada that maybe they merge into each other. You don't have a country without borders. And this was not discussed on any of the mainstream outlets because the mainstream outlets were so busy dedicating tens, if not hundreds of hours to something Donald Trump said on a hot mic 11 years ago, some trash talk. Not say I'm defending what Trump said. And by the way, Milo, I had to look up hot mic. It isn't just the chocolate-covered gentleman you're going to be spending the weekend with. Which is what I thought it was.
Too easy.
It's
easy. It's too easy. Not untrue, but too easy.
He's a graduate student. He has a few tattoos.
I don't sleep with people with degrees.
So, So the media absolutely has a rig. The fact that we are not, that the signature moment of this campaign is that one candidate does not believe in borders is corrupt. That shows the system is rigged. It should be, and that should be the debate. Hillary should have to explain why she believes that we do not have sovereignty in the United States of America, that people can move in and out freely. And I should note, she was paid $250,000 to say that. Would anyone pay Hillary Clinton $20 to hear her speak in this audience? She's quite literally one of the least interesting people in the country. All the things she says are talking points that she's focus grouped and poll tested. And so where is the money going? Why is someone paying her that much money? Clearly it's about access. And we joke we're having a good time. It's at least we're trying to. But the point is that it is more evidence of corruption, that she would not just say this, but she says it for a massive fee to a foreign bank. And that this is not discussed relative to colorful and, I'll say, inappropriate comments from Donald Trump, not 100 to 1, not 1,000 to 1, a godzillion to 1. This shows you that the system's rigged. Now, when it comes to voter fraud, that's still a possibility. Obama joked in 2008 that he's relieved the Democrats are in charge of counting the vote in Ohio. I don't think he's joking about that because when votes are stolen, they go to Republicans. I think they tend to go to Democrats. That's
Why
the bottom
do
line.
dead people always vote Democrat?
That is the question of the day, is it not?
Yeah. It's remarkable how no matter what your opinions when you were alive,
Yes.
as soon as you die, you show up on the voter rolls as a Democrat voter. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's
Something
how it goes.
happens at death.
Well, as the Democrats say, vote early and vote often. But one note, are we not in the middle of a news cycle where the Democrats are accusing the Russians of rigging this election with only circumstantial evidence? And yet, so the Russians are rigging this election, but Trump can't say the election's rigged. Okay, fine. So it's not to mention we're in an era where there's hacking that's widespread that could affect the vote. And here's the last point on this, which is the Democrats must have very selective memories in the mainstream media when talking about the outrage, the pearl clutching over Trump, saying the election could be rigged and he might not accept the results. I'm old enough to remember the year 2000 when one Albert Gore decided that he would hold up the democratic process for weeks on end with suing everyone he possibly could because he believed the results were not legitimate. He did not accept the results. Again, you have to go to places like Breitbart if you want to see this counter-argument because the mainstream media is trying to stifle any sort of dissent. Not to say we're right all the time, not to say you should only get your news from us. But the point is that we are providing a certain level of balance, and our numbers are growing because we provide a stark contrast to the corruption, to the media trying to rig this election.